Hello and good day, Mike Adcock with an update on Tropical Depression 5W. This is located between the Carolines and Papua New Guinea, Indonesia. This is based on the 12 Zulu Japan Meteorological Agency advisory from the 4th of April. Take a look at the satellite imagery starting off the loop at about 5 Zulu. You see the center of circulation well exposed from the convection here in the early frames. Once the sun has set, though, convection has blossomed, so you do have some very deep convection, and that's finding itself over the center of circulation. So we'll have to continue to monitor this over the course of the night, see if it does hold off, this convection does persist. But right now, not in the best of terms in terms of organization. As of 12 Zulu, or about 9 p.m. Palau time, center of circulation was 710 kilometers to the north-northeast of Jayapura, Indonesia, or about 1,070 kilometers east-southeast of Palau. It is moving off to the west-northwest at 17 kilometers per hour. That is an increase in forward speed. Winds holding steady at about 55 kilometers per hour with gusts up to 85, and our pressure 1,004 hectopascal. It is forecast to become a tropical storm over the next day. The international name would be Pepa. Once it does cross over into the Bagasa or the Philippines area of responsibility, it would pick up the name Doming, even as a tropical depression. Take a look at Dvorak analysis. You do see that convection that has blossomed up near and just to the west of the center of circulation. That being said, though, not a whole lot of change to the latest Dvorak analyses. The only outlier really is the advanced Dvorak technique, a little stronger at T2.8. That would yield about 76 kilometers per hour. The other two agencies, though, again, pretty much saying the same thing. Convection wrapping around 3/10 of the way around the center of circulation. So T2.0 is the result there, which gets you about that 55 kilometers per hour. Looking over across the Western Pacific, again, not much change here. Do have this frontal boundary exiting off the coast of Japan, off the south and east side of the country there. Our depression is just off the picture here. You do see the northern periphery of that, getting some serious moving over Palau at this time. Right now, the big story, though, is the weak ridging that is separating the two, the front off to the north and our tropical depression. That extends across, again, the Marianas into the Philippines, and that's going to keep this system from gaining too much latitudes, at least in the near term. This matches up pretty well with the JMA analysis at 6 Zulu. Again, that weak ridging extending across the Marianas and the Philippines. We'll have to keep an eye on the later part of the forecast, where we may see a mid-latitude trough influence our depression a little bit. Here's the JMA forecast, again, being a tropical depression, not much. Again, focused right now toward Palau. It is expected to become a tropical storm this time tomorrow. We said that yesterday, so we'll see if it actually holds true. The issue is it is so far south, and you see here at 9 Zulu from the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, the latitude was 3.2 degrees north, so very, very low in terms of latitude. Matter of fact, the entire 5-day forecast here by JTWC keeps it south of the 10-degree mark, so extremely low latitudes. Not very common we see things like this. That being said, again, the storm will continue to move off to the west-northwest, being influenced by that weak ridge of high pressure. The intensity forecast is going to be the challenge, though. We're seeing, because of the low latitudes, because of the moderate shear, this is going to slowly strengthen over the next few days, much slower than what you'd expect with climatology. That being said, we don't, according to the JTWC forecast, don't make a tropical storm strength until this time tomorrow night, or at least Saturday afternoon. And then as we get in to the end of the forecast period, still just about 60 knots or 110 kilometers per hour for your intensity. So just below typhoon strength. there is that likelihood that it could become a tropical or could become a typhoon prior to making landfall there in the Philippines. Right now, focus is on the Visayas as well as Mindanao. For those in Palau, though, that's going to be the near-term threat. Severe tropical storm very likely for you. The model consensus is pretty much on point, so one way or another, expecting some tropical storm or at least gale force winds as this system approaches. Here's the National Weather Service track. Again, really it is copied from the JTWC track. I bring it up here, though, again, to show the wind radii. Highlighted in blue there is tropical storm force winds. So that covers most of Palau, and then you have a small sliver of a strong tropical storm or greater than 50 knots there just south of the main island. Here's the GFS forecast track. Matches up pretty well, and notice they're impacting the Visayas as we get into next week. Intensity, at least on the GFS, really not intensifying too much, remaining a marginal tropical storm. Although there is the threat this could continue to strengthen. Really the concern is what's going to happen in the near term. We said yesterday that this thing was rapidly intensifying. We could see this become a tropical storm anytime, and it didn't. 24 hours later, we're saying the exact same tune. Matter of fact, we had a period of time where the center of circulation was exposed. That's starting to fill up, but the more it struggles in the near term, and we see this all over within the tropics, in the infant stages of cyclone genesis, the longer it really takes to develop, the more, or the less likely, I should say, that it does intensify significantly. If it's going to take a few more days to become a tropical storm, the likelihood of this becoming a typhoon does decrease. That being said, do want to emphasize that the threat for heavy rainfall, again, for Palau and as well as the Visayas and Mindanao in the Philippines, the heavy rainfall, the mudslides, and then the gusty winds, we'll definitely have to continue to monitor the progress of this storm. Right now, not a whole lot of surface observations to talk about and to help us interrogate this system. Again, a ship well off to the east-southeast there, but not much to talk about. Keep it tuned over at westernpacificweather.com. We'll continue to monitor the progress of this storm. You can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook and join in on the conversation at storm2k.org. Make sure to follow me on Twitter as well as YouTube and Google+. I'll be posting updates there as they come in. Thank you all for tuning in. Be safe out there. Have a great day and take care.